Salutations, friends. I wanted to start covering some different things that interest me on the channel a little more. Like, I want to start doing some Final Fantasy news and kind of going over some information we get on upcoming Final Fantasy titles, no titles, anything that really kind of interests me, anything that, like, the community I'm trying to build wants to go a little bit into. But today I wanted to do a little bit of Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. The first reveal that they showed just didn't really capture me. It's strange because I'm a huge everything Final Fantasy fan, and I just wasn't feeling that first showing. But I've seen this trailer, and it's definitely done a lot more to pull me in. It looks a lot more diverse than the first one. They first showed it, kind of looked like the whole game was just taking place in Chaos's castle. I thinking maybe it would be like a multi-level dungeon crawler or something like that. This wasn't something that, but this showing definitely steps it up. And yeah, let's take a look at the trailer. Then we'll go over an article from IGN talking about the devs on. They did a discussion over TGS. So let's take a look at the trailer. I'll give my thoughts. On to the article. What was that fateful day? None can say.
Wait. My crystal. It's her.
I really think the character designs have really started to mesh much better. The gameplay definitely looks very smooth.
When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. I'm Neon. And I only count 3 of you.
Deliver this world from the clutches
The
of
music
darkness.
is quite good.
For what it's worth, you four don't look like easy pickings.
This land is home to 4 crystals. Fire, wind, water, and earth. The darkness corrupting them causes fires to rage, winds to die, seas to languish, and earth to decay. The people are lost, and scarce little light remains in their hearts.
Right. So you want us to do something about the darkness clouding the crystals.
The visual presentation is
There.
much more on point.
What are you? Answer me!
Their equipment and stuff is a lot better than the first showing. The narrative has definitely become a lot more intriguing. My opinion, anyway.
I couldn't. I know its name. Tiamat.
The music is very good.
He's out there. I can feel him. I just have to keep looking.
May the crystal's blessing be with you, always.
Gotta love that Amano logo.
I never asked your name.
Garland. My name's Jack Garland.
Well, that's definitely interesting. I don't know where they're going with that. or what that's all about. Not sure why why they make him Garland, yet Garland is Chaos. I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, let's take a look at the article from IGN, by the way. The development team behind Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin have been taking player feedback to heart as they work to improve the game ahead of its release next year, in ways even they didn't expect. After hearing all the speculation from fans about the identity of Chaos following the initial demo that was released in the summer, developers, collaboration of minds from Square Enix and Team Ninja, went ahead and included his name, Jack Garland, i.e., the name of the main character, in the new trailer that was shown during Tokyo Game Show. Protagonist is Garland, and I'd had in mind for a while that one day I'd like to tell the story of how Garland turns into Chaos. Producer Tetsuya Nomura said in a special presentation for the game on Saturday night. Nomura participated as a voiceover, while other members of the team, guest players, appeared in person. For some reason, the trailer spoiled the twist. Jin Fujiwara, one of the producers, told the team proverbial Moogle was out of the bag already, leading to the inclusion of the scene at the end of the trailer. Fujiwara told me as well, Nomura said. People outside of Japan had figured it out already. Let's just reveal it. Other than spoiling Nomura's twist, the feedback the team received from the first demo has led to a number of changes. The graphics have been given an update, and the lighting has been adjusted after players complained the initial demo was too dark. The new demo, and presumably the final game, will also support rendering in 4K. We have put a lot of energy into making sure that it runs at a high frame rate, even at the kind of high resolution. Koei Tecmo director Hiroe Yasuda. Even though there was positive feedback from the first demo about the gameplay and the game's responsiveness, the team still made adjustments in that area. Lightbringer attack, for instance, now consumes more MP but lasts for a longer duration. There have also been tweaks to the MP and how fast the break gauge refills. A new feature called Resonance has been added to help improve the usefulness of the NPC characters in your party. The other characters will be more aggressive in using their abilities, while Resonance is in effect. The feature was also added to improve AI performance of the NPC in your party. Players can now also change the jobs of other characters in their party. The NPCs can now be equipped with new gear, which was the team's way of solving the issue of the copious amount of loot drop, which led to players saying they couldn't use it at all. The game's tutorials have now been tweaked, and new ones have been added to help introduce players into the game's world. This part, where you can change up jobs, much like the original, this kind of reminds me of Dragon's Dogma a little bit, where you could switch around your job at will. You couldn't do it with your party members unless you got completely new pawns, but yeah, I like that. That sounds pretty fun. Hopefully you can switch on the fly. Probably when you equip new weapons. I wasn't able to play the demo, so. The game is hard, similar to Team Ninja's Neo series, and the difficulty levels have been rebranded as Story and Action. Additionally, the game's difficulty will not change based on whether it's being played in single player or multiplayer. We wanted to make a difficulty level for people who wanted to focus on enjoying the story, Square Enix director Daisuke Inoue said of the story difficulty set. Gameplay of the multiplayer portion of the game was also featured during the showcase. We received a lot of feedback from people who wanted to play multiplayer or who wanted to play with their friends, Inoue said. That was something we really wanted to include as well. 3 members of the panel, playing as Jack, Ash, and Neon, teamed up to tackle the new area from the demo, Refren Wetlands. The new area from the current demo, one of the guest players mentioned some of the refrains in the stage's soundtrack sounded familiar, and then wondered if he should not say anything else, which Inoue quickly agreed with, possibly hinting at some sort of callback. Now that's odd that they didn't want to go ahead and, if it was just like a reference to the original. some kind of remix or something. It's odd that they didn't want to say anything more. That doesn't really seem like any kind of spoiler stuff. So the fact they kind of want to keep that their call is kind of. Multiplayer sections showed the three-person team taking on enemies and using the abilities of the job classes they chose for their characters. They pummeled enemies in unison and eventually took down the boss, after some close calls to the end of the trial. Job classes also come into play in multiplayer and can be used strategically in some cases. For example, a white mage who charges a spell for long enough will be able to widen the area of effect and benefit the rest of the party. That also reminds me of Dragon's Dogma. Since the difficulty does not scale in multiplayer, developers said it was probably easier to play in a group rather than alone. The game will also be taking feedback from the second demo and applying it to the final game. The current demo will remain available on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S stores until October 11th. Survey where players can submit feedback will run until October 18th. The game is a spin-off, not a direct sequel to Final Fantasy. It's scheduled release on March 18th. Pre-orders for a standard edition and a digital deluxe edition are now live. The title is part of the Final Fantasy 35th anniversary, which will be in 2022. They have a preview on hands demo or showcase. So yeah, the game definitely looks much better than its first presentation, in my opinion. It's definitely done more to pull me in towards wanting to play it, wanting more. So I definitely like the look of the combat. It looks very smooth. The graphics look a lot better than they did. I see the character designs getting a lot of hate, but I personally don't have any issues with them. I think they look pretty good. The whole story plot twist for Jack being Garland, now that is quite interesting. I wonder how that's going to go. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on Final Fantasy Origins Stranger of Paradise. Are you interested in playing it? Are you on the fence about it? Are you not interested at all? Sure, let me know, and I will see you guys in the future. Sayonara.